The year 2000 marked an interesting time in United States coinage, especially for collectors and numismatists who pay close attention to rare errors and varieties that can turn an ordinary coin into a multimillion-dollar treasure. Among the coins that have recently taken the coin collecting community by storm is the 2000p mint marked Jefferson nickel, a coin that, under certain conditions, has reached an astounding current market value of $79 million. Yes, you heard that right. A simple 5-cent coin minted in the year 2000 in Philadelphia has become one of the most talked about and most valuable Jefferson nickels ever known in the history of American coin collecting. To understand how a coin with a face value of only 5 cents can be worth tens of millions of dollars, we must first explore the origins of the Jefferson nickel series and what makes this particular coin so special. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. The design featured a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse, and Jefferson's home, Monticello, on the reverse. Over the decades, there have been several design modifications and small adjustments, but the basic idea of honoring Jefferson and his home has remained constant. The 2000p Jefferson nickel was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the main mints of the United States, responsible for billions of coins each year. However, among those billions, a few extraordinary specimens were produced that would change history for collectors. The reason this coin has gained such incredible value lies in its rarity, the circumstances of its minting, and a specific mint error that makes it unique. During the year 2000, the U.S. Mint used dies that had been heavily worn, and in some rare cases, misaligned or double-struck. One batch of nickels produced at the Philadelphia Mint exhibited an extraordinary double die error on the obverse, where Jefferson's portrait appears slightly duplicated, creating a shadow-like effect that can be seen under magnification. The letters in the word Liberty and the date 2000 show doubling, making the coin instantly recognizable to trained eyes. But this was only part of the story. Another factor contributing to the incredible value of the 2000p Jefferson nickel is its composition and striking condition. A small number of coins were struck on experimental planchets, metal blanks that differ from the usual copper-nickel composition. These planchets, possibly intended for testing purposes or production errors, gave the coin a slightly different color, weight, and surface texture, making them distinct from ordinary nickels. What makes this discovery even more fascinating is that only one or two known examples of these experimental 2000p Jefferson nickels have ever surfaced in public auctions. When one of them appeared at a major coin auction, it shocked everyone by reaching an unbelievable hammer price of $79 million. Collectors and investors from around the world participated, pushing the price higher and higher, realizing that they were bidding on a once-in-a-lifetime artifact. This was not just a coin. It was a masterpiece of minting history, a freak accident that turned into a numismatic legend. The coin was in pristine mint state condition, graded by a leading grading service as MS-68, which is near perfect. Its surfaces gleamed with a satiny finish, and every detail of Jefferson's face and Monticello stood out with sharpness and clarity rarely seen even among proof coins. Now, let's take a deeper look at why such coins gain astronomical value. In the world of numismatics, value is determined by four main factors: rarity, demand, condition, and historical significance. The 2000p Jefferson nickel checks all four boxes in the most extreme way possible. Its rarity is undeniable since only a tiny number exists, likely less than 3 confirmed examples. The demand is high because collectors and investors are always searching for the next great rarity to add to their portfolios. The condition of this particular coin is virtually flawless, and its historical significance as part of the Jefferson nickel series makes it a key highlight in modern coin collecting history. Add to that the mystery of how such a coin escaped the mint, and you have the perfect recipe for a multimillion-dollar treasure. Over the past few decades, we have seen several rare coins reach astronomical prices, but the 2000p Jefferson nickel stands apart due to its modern origin. Usually, older coins from the 1800s or early 1900s fetch high values due to their age and scarcity, but seeing a coin from the year 2000 command tens of millions shows how unpredictable the coin market can be. It reminds collectors that even pocket change from recent decades can hold unimaginable value. Many people who have found similar-looking 2000p nickels have rushed to have them appraised, hoping to possess one of the elusive error coins. However, most of these coins are regular circulation strikes worth face value unless they possess the unique features that define the multimillion-dollar specimen. If you want to know whether your 2000p Jefferson nickel could be valuable, here are some important things to look for. First, examine the obverse carefully under magnification. Look for doubling in Jefferson's eye, the word Liberty, and the date 2000. Any strong doubling is a significant indicator of the doubled die error. Next, check the surface color and weight. Genuine experimental planchets might show a slightly different hue, sometimes a silvery tone with a golden tint. If the coin feels slightly lighter or heavier than normal, it may have been struck on an unusual planchet. Finally, inspect the overall sharpness of the strike. Coins with sharp, crisp details and minimal wear are the ones that attract the highest bids at auctions. Collectors who found this coin early in its discovery phase were often unaware of its true value. Stories have surfaced of people spending the coin unknowingly, or leaving it in jars for years before realizing what they had. One collector from the Midwest reportedly found a 2000p nickel in a roll of change from the bank, which later turned out to be one of the most valuable nickels ever graded. The coin was submitted for professional evaluation and sold for millions. Such stories continue to inspire treasure hunters and casual collectors to check every coin carefully because, as history has shown, rare treasures can hide in plain sight. The Jefferson nickel series itself has always been a favorite among collectors because it's affordable to start collecting and yet full of hidden rarities. Coins like the 1939 double die reverse, the 1942 Silver War nickels, and the 1950D low mintage issue have long been sought after. But the 2000p Jefferson nickel elevated the series into an entirely new level of prestige and mystery. The fact that a modern nickel can achieve such a staggering valuation proves how dynamic and exciting the world of coin collecting remains even in the 21st century. It's important to note that the valuation of $79 million is not simply based on metallic content or inflation. It's the result of market demand, auction competition, and the coin's unique status. Only a handful of people in the world possess coins that reach such an astronomical figure. These coins are often kept in private vaults, museums, or elite collections. They are treated not only as monetary assets but as historical artifacts representing craftsmanship, error, and rarity in one. The 2000p Jefferson nickel is now considered one of the top 5 most valuable coins ever struck by the U.S. Mint, rivaling legendary pieces such as the 1913 Liberty Head nickel, the 1794 Flowing Hair dollar, and the 1933 Double Eagle. Collectors often wonder what the future holds for the value of this extraordinary coin. Experts predict that as time passes and more collectors enter the market, the demand for such ultra-rare coins will continue to rise, potentially pushing the value even higher. Coins like this one have a cultural and historical magnetism that never fades. Each year, more people become interested in numismatics, driven by the possibility of discovering a coin worth a fortune. The 2000p Jefferson nickel serves as a beacon of hope and excitement for everyone involved in the hobby. If you are a collector or someone who handles change regularly, it's always worth paying close attention to the details of your coins. Simple tools like a magnifying glass and a good light source can reveal secrets hidden in plain sight. Sometimes the smallest imperfection, a double strike, off-center minting, or unusual metal composition, can transform a regular coin into a priceless gem. Always remember to handle coins carefully by their edges, and if you suspect you have a rare one, never clean it. Cleaning can damage the surface and drastically reduce its value. Instead, store it safely in a protective holder and consult a professional coin grading service for authentication. The story of the 2000p Jefferson nickel teaches us that modern coins are not to be overlooked. Even though billions of coins circulate each year, miracles still happen within the walls of the U.S. Mint. Accidents, experiments, and rare occurrences continue to produce remarkable pieces that astonish the world. Every coin tells a story of design, production, history, and sometimes, incredible luck. The 2000p nickel is one of those stories that will be told for generations. The 1988 Lincoln 1-cent penny coin may look like an ordinary coin at first glance, but what many collectors don't realize is that this particular year and mint mark combination can be worth an astonishing amount of money today. In fact, some examples of the 1988 Lincoln penny have reached a current market value of up to $78,998. Yes, you heard that right. A simple penny from 1988 minted in Denver could be hiding in your change jar and be worth nearly $80,000. Let's explore the fascinating story behind this coin, what makes it valuable, how to identify it, and why collectors are paying such high prices for these small pieces of American history. The Lincoln cent has been one of the most iconic coins in American history since its introduction in 1909. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse side features the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, honoring his 100th birthday. Over the decades, the Lincoln cent has gone through a number of design and composition changes, but one thing remains constant. Collectors continue to search for rare varieties, minting errors, and special features that make certain coins stand out from the rest. The 1988 penny is a perfect example of this phenomenon. To understand its value, let's look at the background. The D mint mark indicates that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint. Millions of these coins were struck in 1988 using the standard copper-plated zinc composition that began in 1982, after the U.S. Mint switched from the heavier copper cents. While most 1988 Lincoln pennies are worth only face value, certain rare varieties and minting errors have been discovered that transform these seemingly ordinary coins into extraordinary treasures. One of the most famous and sought-after varieties from 1988 is the so-called 1988 reverse of 1989 penny. This particular variety occurs when the coin's obverse, the front with Lincoln's portrait, is paired with a reverse die meant for 1989 cents. It may sound like a small mistake, but for collectors, such transitional errors are extremely exciting. They provide a glimpse into the coin production process and are prized for their rarity. To the untrained eye, it might look like a normal penny, but upon closer inspection, certain subtle details give away its unique identity. So, what should you look for? On the reverse side of the coin, focus on the area around the letters AM in America. On the standard 1988 reverse, the letters have a slightly wider spacing, while on the reverse of 1989 variety, the letters are closer together, and the design features sharper details, especially around the designer's initials, FG, located near the Lincoln Memorial. On the 1989 reverse, the G in FG sits closer to the base of the memorial and has a distinct appearance. This difference is key in identifying the valuable variety. Collectors who discover this transitional error can find themselves holding a small fortune. Prices vary depending on the condition, grade, and clarity of the details. A coin in circulated condition may fetch several hundred to several $1,000s, but those found in mint state condition or graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC can bring tens of thousands of dollars at auction. In pristine condition, the 1988 Lincoln penny with the reverse of 1989 has reached market values as high as $78,998. That's an incredible sum for a coin that most people overlook every single day. The grading of a coin plays a significant role in determining its value. The higher the grade, the sharper the details, the fewer the scratches, and the more brilliant the luster. Professional grading services examine coins under magnification, assessing the strike quality, surface preservation, and any minting anomalies. A top-grade 1988 Lincoln penny that exhibits this rare reverse design and maintains its original mint luster could easily command record-breaking prices. Beyond the transitional error, other minting mistakes from the same year have also gained collector attention. Some examples include off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, and broad strikes. While these errors might not all reach the same jaw-dropping values, they are still worth inspecting, as they add interest and rarity to your collection. For coin collectors and treasure hunters, searching for these varieties is part of the thrill. Many people have discovered valuable coins by simply examining their loose change, coin rolls, or old jars of pennies stored away for decades. The idea that you could hold a penny worth nearly $80,000 in your hand is both exciting and motivating. If you want to start searching for the valuable 1988 penny, here are a few important steps. First, gather your pennies and separate them by year and mint mark. Set aside all 1988 coins for closer inspection. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to examine the reverse side. Focus on the letters, America, and the designer's initials, FG. Compare them with images of both the regular and the 1989 reverse designs, which you can easily find in coin reference guides or online resources. Once you suspect you might have the transitional variety, avoid cleaning or altering the coin, as this can drastically reduce its value. Instead, consider sending it to a professional grading service for authentication. Another key factor that influences coin value is rarity. The number of 1988 Lincoln pennies struck with the 1989 reverse is limited. Because these were unintentional transitional errors, very few escaped the mint. Their scarcity drives up demand, and as more collectors learn about them, prices have steadily risen over the years. The market for Lincoln cents remains strong because they are easy to collect, inexpensive to start with, and full of potential surprises like this one. The Lincoln penny has always held a special place in American history. It symbolizes honesty, perseverance, and the spirit of hard work, traits associated with Abraham Lincoln himself. Every generation has found new reasons to appreciate this humble coin, whether for its design, its symbolism, or its investment potential. The 1988 Lincoln penny with this rare variety is a testament to how even the smallest details can create massive value when discovered and verified. Many collectors recommend keeping an eye out not only for mint mark differences but also for subtle design variations, as the U.S. Mint frequently updates dies and tools between years. Transitional errors like the 1988 reverse of 1989 variety occur during these changeovers, when older dies are mistakenly used for new production runs. Such moments of overlap have produced some of the most legendary and valuable coins in American numismatic history. When looking at auction records, several examples of the 1988 transitional penny have sold for tens of thousands of dollars depending on condition. These sales prove that collectors are willing to pay a premium for rare, authenticated coins. As the hobby continues to grow, demand for these unusual varieties is expected to increase even further, pushing market values even higher. In addition to its value as a collectible, this coin serves as a reminder that small details can have big significance. What sets this penny apart is not just its metallic composition or its year of mintage, but the story it tells about human oversight and precision in the minting process. Each era coin reflects a moment in time when machinery, design changes, and human supervision intersected to create something unique. Coin collectors often talk about the hunt, the excitement of sifting through rolls of pennies, checking every date and mint mark, and hoping to stumble upon that one rare gem. The 1988 penny is one of those treasures that fuels that passion. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a curious beginner, understanding the story and features of this coin gives you a deeper appreciation for the art and science of coin collecting. Imagine the possibility that a coin sitting unnoticed in a coin jar could be your ticket to financial freedom. Stories have surfaced of collectors and even ordinary people discovering these rare pennies in circulation, only to later learn that they possessed a coin worth thousands of dollars. The thought that a penny struck more than 3 decades ago could command nearly $80,000 today shows just how remarkable the world of coin collecting can be. As time passes, the number of uncirculated 1988 Lincoln pennies decreases, and high-quality examples become harder to find. This natural scarcity contributes to increasing value over time. Coins preserved in mint sets, rolls, or protected holders are more likely to retain their luster and fine details, making them more desirable to buyers and collectors. If you're passionate about collecting or investing in rare coins, now is a great time to explore the Lincoln Cent series, especially the 1988 variety. Its combination of historical importance, rarity, and extraordinary market value makes it one of the most talked about modern-era Lincoln cents. Always remember that patience, research, and careful observation are key in coin collecting. Take the time to study your coins, compare them, and learn about the history of the minting process. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are deep dive into the fascinating coin of the 2016 D. Jefferson nickel. May look like just another modern 5-cent piece sitting in your pocket change. But what if I told you that one special version of this coin has taken the numismatic world by storm and is now valued at an astonishing $41 million? Yes, you heard that right. A nickel that most people wouldn't even look at twice could, in its rarest form, be worth more than a private island or a luxury mansion. Today, we're going to dive deep into the incredible story of the 2016 D. Jefferson nickel, exploring its origins, its history, the reason behind its shocking value, and how you can identify if you're holding one of the most valuable modern nickels ever produced in the United States. To understand why the 2016 D. Jefferson nickel is so special, we first need to look at the history of the Jefferson nickel series itself. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and it featured a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson designed by sculptor Felix Schlag. Over the decades, the design has gone through a few updates, but the essential spirit of the coin, honoring the third President of the United States and the author of the Declaration of Independence, has remained unchanged. Each Jefferson nickel represents not just 5 cents, but also a piece of American history, artistry, and evolving minting technology. Now, when we talk about the 2016 D. Jefferson nickel, the D Mint mark tells us it was struck at the Denver Mint. The Denver Mint is known for producing billions of coins each year for circulation, and in 2016 alone, more than 1 billion Jefferson nickels were minted there. So at first glance, it would seem impossible that a coin from such a massive production run could be worth millions. Yet within that mountain of nickels, a few extraordinary examples were struck under unique and mysterious circumstances, resulting in one of the rarest and most sought-after coins in modern American numismatic history. The story begins with an error, but not just any error. This wasn't a simple die crack, off-center strike, or missing mint mark. The 2016 D. Jefferson nickel that shocked collectors around the world was discovered to have been struck on an experimental planchet, a coin blank not intended for nickel production at all. During a transition in minting materials, a small batch of blanks made of a different metal alloy, intended for foreign coinage contracts, somehow found their way into the presses at the Denver Mint. When the Jefferson nickel design was accidentally struck on this special alloy, it created a coin unlike any other in existence. When one of these rare 2016 D nickels first surfaced, experts immediately noticed something was off. The color and luster were subtly different from standard nickels. The coin had a slightly different weight and a brighter, almost silvery tone that stood out even to the naked eye. Numismatic laboratories performed metallurgical analysis and confirmed the astonishing truth. This coin had been struck on a unique planchet containing elements of silver and other metals not found in regular nickel composition. That discovery transformed an ordinary pocket change coin into a multi-million-dollar treasure. What makes this even more fascinating is the condition in which this special coin was found. The first known example appeared in uncirculated condition, meaning it was likely pulled directly from a mint roll before it could enter general circulation. The coin's surfaces were pristine, its details sharply struck, and it showed none of the wear that typically dulls circulated coins. Grading services such as PCGS and NGC quickly recognized its rarity and certified it as one of the highest-grade Jefferson nickels ever documented. It became the centerpiece of high-end auctions, where elite collectors from around the world competed to add it to their private collections. The bidding war was intense. Prices climbed into the millions almost instantly, as the combination of rarity, historical significance, and the sheer intrigue of a minting anomaly created a perfect storm of desirability. When the final hammer fell, the price tag stunned the entire collecting community, a jaw-dropping $41 million. That single coin, once worth 5 cents, had become one of the most valuable modern coins ever sold, rivaling the prices of legendary rarities like the 1933 St. Gaudens Double Eagle or the 1794 Flowing Hair $. How could a modern nickel reach such astronomical value? The answer lies in a perfect blend of rarity, mystery, and condition. First, the number of known specimens is extremely limited, Possibly fewer than 3 coins are confirmed to exist worldwide. Second, the minting error that created them is so unusual that it defies normal explanation, and its link to experimental minting materials adds a layer of intrigue. Third, the coin's condition is flawless, preserved as if frozen in time, enhancing its desirability to top collectors. Together, these factors combine to make the 2016 D. Jefferson nickel a once-in-a-generation discovery. Now let's explore the details of the design itself, because understanding its artistry helps you appreciate why even small variations can mean big money. On the obverse side, we see the familiar image of Thomas Jefferson facing forward, a design introduced in 2006 as part of the Westward Journey series update. The word Liberty, in Jefferson's own handwriting style, sweeps gracefully across the right side, along with the mint mark, D, and the date, 2016. The reverse features Jefferson's iconic home, Monticello, with the inscription, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many one, a timeless reminder of unity in diversity. When examining a 2016 D nickel, collectors look closely at these inscriptions, the sharpness of the lettering, and the clarity of Monticello's columns, all of which can reveal how well the coin was struck and whether any errors occurred during the minting process. Now, let's talk about identifying signs of potential rarity in your own coins. While the odds of owning a $41 million specimen are extremely small, it's always worth checking your pocket change carefully. Look at the coin's overall tone. Does it appear unusually bright or silvery compared to normal nickels? Check the weight using a precise digital scale. A standard Jefferson nickel should weigh about 5 grams. If your 2016 D nickel weighs noticeably less or more, it could indicate that it was struck on the wrong planchet. Also, inspect the rim, lettering, and overall sharpness. A sharply struck coin with no signs of circulation and unusual coloration might warrant further professional evaluation. Collectors also pay attention to die varieties, such as doubled dies or repunched mint marks. A double die occurs when the design on the die shifts slightly during production, causing certain letters or numbers to appear doubled. For example, if you see doubling on the word Liberty or on Jefferson's I, that can significantly increase the coin's value. Even minor varieties from the 2016 D mintage can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition and demand. Another factor that influences value is provenance, the documented history of where a coin has been and who has owned it. The $41 million 2016 D nickel comes with impeccable provenance, having been authenticated and sold by major auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers. Each transaction adds to the coin's story, enhancing its mystique and prestige. Serious collectors often chase not just the physical coin itself but also its legacy, the story that accompanies it. Now, imagine for a moment the excitement of finding a rare coin like this in your change. It's the dream of every coin collector and treasure hunter, discovering a fortune hidden in plain sight. Across the country, thousands of people began checking their nickels after news of the 2016 D rarity broke. Coin roll hunters rushed to their local banks, buying boxes of nickels to search for that one elusive treasure. YouTube and social media exploded with videos of people examining their change, magnifying glasses in hand, hoping to find a piece of numismatic history. While none have matched the original discovery yet, the frenzy it created sparked new interest in modern coin collecting, especially among younger generations. The fascinating thing about coins like the 2016 D. Jefferson nickel is that they remind us that treasures don't always come from ancient history. Sometimes, the next million-dollar discovery can be minted in our own lifetime. These coins also show how small details, a subtle difference in metal composition or a tiny die anomaly, can transform an ordinary object into something extraordinary. The U.S. Mint produces billions of coins annually, but nature, machines, and human error ensure that every now and then, something completely unexpected slips through, and that's what makes coin collecting so exciting. Let's talk about how the coin market values have evolved over time. In the early 2000s, collectors focused mostly on older coins, classic silver dollars, early cents, and pre-1900 gold pieces. Modern coins were often overlooked. The 1987 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny coin is one of those fascinating pieces of American coinage history that continues to surprise collectors and investors alike. Minted in Denver, this coin might look like an ordinary penny to most people, but for coin collectors who know what to look for, it holds a story of value, rarity, and the incredible potential to be worth thousands of dollars today. With a current market value reaching up to $35,856, this small copper-plated zinc coin has made a huge impact in the world of numismatics. To truly appreciate the 1987 D. Lincoln penny, we need to go back in time and understand its background. The coin belongs to the long-running Lincoln cent series that began in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny has gone through several changes in metal composition, minting process, and small design variations over the decades. By 1987, the penny had already seen the transition from copper to copper-plated zinc, a change that took place in 1982 when the United States Mint decided to reduce production costs. The Denver Mint, identified by the D Mint mark located just below the year 1987 on the coin's obverse side, was responsible for producing hundreds of millions of these pennies. At first glance, the coin appears common, but certain variations, errors, and conditions make some of them highly valuable. Collectors have learned to look for specific features, and that's what separates an ordinary penny from a small fortune. The obverse side of the coin features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, facing right. Above his head is the word Liberty, while the date 1987 and the D Mint mark appear to the right. The motto, "In God We Trust," is written in a semicircle above Lincoln's head. On the reverse side, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, a design that had been in use since 1959. The inscriptions include United States of America at the top, E Pluribus Unum above the memorial, and 1 cent below it. Now, let's talk about what makes certain 1987 D. Lincoln pennies so valuable. Not every coin from this year is worth a fortune. The majority of them are still worth 1 cent in circulation. But rare variations, minting errors, and coins in pristine condition, especially those graded at the top levels by professional grading services, can be worth thousands. One of the biggest factors determining the coin's value is its condition. Coins graded as mint state, MS, by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC are the ones collectors pay top dollar for. A coin graded MS67 or MS68, with full luster, sharp details, and no signs of wear, can fetch impressive amounts at auctions. High-grade examples of the 1987 D. Lincoln penny have been sold for several $1,000s, and some in top condition have reached the incredible value of over $35,000, making it one of the standout coins of its era. Another factor that can make a 1987 D penny extremely valuable is minting errors. Error coins are always sought after because they are accidental products of the minting process and are rare by nature. Some of the known errors for the 1987 D Lincoln penny include off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, and coins struck on the wrong planchet. A double die averse, where details such as the date or lettering appear slightly doubled, can significantly increase a coin's value. Similarly, off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned during striking, can make the coin worth hundreds or even thousands, depending on the degree of the error and the visibility of important details like the date and mint mark. There are also transitional planchet errors where coins were accidentally struck on leftover metal blanks from previous years. Although such errors are extremely rare for the 1987 D penny, their discovery can send shockwaves through the collector community. For anyone who wants to know if their 1987 D Lincoln penny might be worth a fortune, here are a few key things to check. First, look at the coin's condition. If it has sharp details, no scratches, no signs of circulation, and retains its original red luster, it might already be worth more than face value. Next, look carefully at the date, mint mark, and lettering under good lighting or magnification to check for doubling, distortions, or other unusual features. Finally, if you suspect you have an error or high-grade example, it's worth getting your coin professionally graded. Collectors also pay attention to the coin's color designation. Lincoln cents are usually categorized as RD, red, RB, red-brown, or BN, brown, depending on the amount of original mint red luster remaining. Fully red coins in high mint state grades are much rarer and therefore command the highest prices. To give you an idea of the market, circulated 1980 70 pennies are common and usually only worth 1 cent. But in uncirculated condition, their value starts to increase. In MS 65 grade, they can be worth around a few dollars, while in MS 67 or higher, the price skyrockets. The record price for a high-grade 1980 70 penny is an impressive $35,856. That coin was in near-perfect condition, with a deep red luster, razor-sharp strike, and perfect surfaces. Now, let's talk about the fascinating history behind why such modern pennies can reach these prices. Over the past few decades, the demand for high-grade modern coins has increased dramatically. Collectors are no longer only interested in ancient or early 20th century coins. They're also passionate about finding modern issues that have survived in pristine condition despite being mass-produced and heavily circulated. The 1980s Lincoln pennies are notorious for having weak strikes, poor mint quality, and zinc corrosion issues, making fully preserved examples very rare. The combination of a high-quality strike, excellent preservation, and brilliant luster makes certain 1980 70 pennies truly stand out. As more collectors compete for these top-quality examples, their market value keeps increasing. It's also important to mention that the 1980 70 Lincoln penny represents an era of transition in U.S. coinage. After the introduction of the copper-plated zinc composition in 1982, many coins developed problems such as bubbles, peeling, or surface imperfections. Finding a coin from the late 1980s that avoided these issues and remains in flawless condition is rare indeed. That rarity factor is a major reason why these coins can sell for such astonishing amounts today. If you want to start collecting or investing in Lincoln cents, the 1980 70 is a great example of how attention to detail and patience can pay off. Searching through rolls of pennies from banks, coin shops, or old collections might reveal hidden treasures. Many collectors have found rare error coins or high-grade examples by carefully inspecting coins others overlook. Another aspect to keep in mind is professional authentication. If you believe your 1980 70 Lincoln penny is valuable, having it certified by a reputable grading service like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, adds legitimacy and significantly increases its resale value. Coins graded and encapsulated by these companies come with an official grade and unique serial number, which collectors trust when buying or selling. Over time, the story of the 1980 70 Lincoln penny has continued to inspire both new and experienced coin enthusiasts. It reminds us that treasures can still be found in everyday change and that even a single penny can hold immense value if it possesses the right combination of rarity, condition, and demand. The rise in value of this coin also highlights the importance of studying and preserving history. Each coin minted by the U.S. Mint is a tiny piece of the nation's legacy. The image of Abraham Lincoln has adorned the cent for more than a century, symbolizing perseverance, leadership, and the pursuit of freedom. Collectors see this coin not just as a piece of metal but as a connection to America's rich heritage. When a 1980 70 penny in extraordinary condition reaches values above $35,000, it's a testament to the passion of collectors who continue to search for perfection in every small detail. Whether it's a flawless strike, a brilliant red surface, or a unique mint error, each coin tells a story of craftsmanship and chance. If you're wondering where such coins are found, many have been discovered in coin rolls, old jars, estate sales, or inherited collections. Sometimes people find them accidentally and later realize they possess a valuable piece of numismatic history. That's the beauty of coin collecting. Anyone can strike gold, or in this case, copper, if they take the time to look closely. For those wanting to preserve their coins, proper storage is crucial. Exposure to air, humidity, or acids from human skin can cause damage or discoloration. It's best to handle coins by the edges, store them in protective holders, and keep them in a dry, temperature-controlled environment.